Dan Lavransky here at the Niagara Comic Con, ladies and gentlemen, and once again getting to sit down and chat with one of my favorite wrestling characters, a legendary wrestling character, Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake, how are you doing today?
Doing great, man.
As great as he was for boxing and sports and humanitarian things, he always had that connection to pro wrestling, and I just wanted to get some of your thoughts on Muhammad Ali.
Well, for me, man, it was a real special connection because we were in the Superdome together, and I was so grateful that he was nice to me and didn't knock my ass out because I was real stupid at the time, and he wound up punching me about 4 times, and I wouldn't go down for him.
Well, now, what was this? Was this an angle or a match?
Yeah, it was an angle.
Was this WCW? Who was this for?
Bill Watts, Mid-South. Yeah, absolutely. He was actually in the corner for him for a guy by the name of the Snowman. They were trying to get over that black character at the time because the Junkyard Dog had left and went to the WWE.
Right.
WWF, anyway. So he was in his corner, and during the match, of course, you know, things happened because I was a bad boy, and my partner got involved, and which was John Nord, the Barbarian. And John Nord, every time Nord went to him, Nord would just fly, you know. And here's John Nord, 6'9", 300 pounds, and flying all over the ring, and I wouldn't leave my feet. And Bill Watts chewed my butt out afterwards, but Ali came to me and he goes, "You're a very smart young man." He understood it. Understood it.
That's amazing. So did he sit down and work with you guys on what you would do in the match, or?
Just the ending.
Yeah.
You know, get up on the apron and punch each one of us. And when Jake has enough, he'll turn around. The Snowman will be there to hit me with his finisher.
So what year was that? Do you remember? Late 70s?
You want a freaking number? Here's one. Here's the yeah.
I'm guessing it would be late 70s sometime.
80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was he still fighting at that point?
No, I don't believe so. No, he was done.
No.
He was done.
And did you ever run into him again after that, or?
Never seen him after that, man. I wish the hell I would have, but you know, he wasn't out much. You know, he did a few things, but you know, too many headshots, man. Yeah. And I'm certainly understanding that. I'm having some issues with my brain now, man, and my speech is taking a turn for the worse, and sometimes things just don't connect up there, you know, and people worry about concussions nowadays, and but nobody worried about them for the first 30 years I was in the ring, and I think I averaged probably, you know, a good 4 or 5 a year. Well, when you multiply that times 40, that's not a good number. And I guess I'm actually very grateful and very thankful to God that I have cleared my mind out, man, because, you know, my mind was so messed up with drugs and alcohol for so many years. And to finally beat that beast down and get rid of that, and, you know, it's a daily fight. But, you know, we got the movie out now. It's helping other people. It's telling people, hey, man, you can make it back, you know, and I mean, really, up until 5 years ago, I didn't think I could ever get sober. I tried my best, man, and it just wasn't good enough. And until this last trip, when I moved in with Diamond Dallas Page, man, things started to happen.
Yeah, that's it. It's an amazing story, Jake. It really is. Yeah, it really is. I wanted to, and I know you discussed your health a lot, but I'm just looking at you here. You look fantastic, man. You look like you've lost a lot of weight.
Say I wasn't hot, but, you know. Yeah, I lost 80 pounds doing DDP Yoga, and more than that, it gives me my flexibility back. I'm able to get up and down. Before I started this, I couldn't even get out of a chair unless you pulled me to my feet, man.
Wow. That's truly amazing. Now, what I kind of wanted to do with you was, because your health has been discussed a lot, and I wanted to talk more about the wrestling side of things, and I thought maybe I'd just throw out some names and get you to answer some of the stuff that I remember. You feuding with this man right beside us here, Ricky Steamboat. Give me some thoughts on Ricky Steamboat and the program you guys worked together, because you were part of that big show in Toronto that was at the CNE. It's still one of the biggest crowds ever.
Yeah. It was always a great time in the ring with Steamboat. You know, it takes a good marriage for something to work. And them sticking us two together, we were both willing participants, and we both appreciated each other's style. And we went out there and just had a blast. And yeah, it was grueling because we were going 30, 40 minutes a night. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I'd say about most house show matches maybe 10 minutes now.
Yeah, thank God. Anymore, you have to bail out. But sorry about that, guys. It's true. But no, with Steamboat, it was such a joy to work with him. He's such a consummate professional, and sort of the best time of my life. Ricky Steamboat was there.
Nice. Nice. I also really enjoyed your feud with Rick Rude. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really clever what you guys did with each other. Tell me a little bit about Rick Rude and that whole program.
Well, Rick Rude was a loose cannon.
Yeah.
You know, you ever hear of something called roid rage? You got it, brother. But having my wife on the road was a real treat because for the first time in my life, I was able to shut her up. Before she'd ever went on the road, it was always, oh, you're having a great time out there. You're in a bar drinking every night. Well, yes, I am. Okay. You're having the time of your life. It's so easy. You're having fun. Okay. So when she came on the road, she had to do that grind. And the next thing you know, we're in some town and she's puking her guts out. I'm like, come on, we got to go. She's like, but I'm sick. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're sick. Get your ass up. And for a brief moment in my life, I had some respect. You know, so that was kind of fun. But I remember one night she slapped Rude and at ringside, and he came in the back and he said, fuck. He said, your wife hits harder than you do. Thanks.
Whose idea was it to involve your wife? Was that Vince that came up with that?
Yeah, Vince, yeah.
Also wanted to ask you about, I loved the feud with Honky Tonk Man. I just wanted to talk to you a bit about him. I know he's someone that few people...
Work.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really want to say anything about Honky Tonk Man, good or bad.
Yeah. All right, we can leave it at that. How about Vince? I like to talk to you about Vince McMahon because he's like, you know, he's been this killer promoter for so long. He's turned it into this gigantic monster.
He's done all these things positive, and you know, I do have some problems. I have problems with everybody, you know, and but you got to respect the man for what he is, the greatest there ever was, in promotion-wise, and he's done so much for so many people, but he could have done so much more, and. You know, there's a lot of ex-wrestlers now that built that company that are, you know, just really bad places, health-wise. And, you know, one being Kamala. Right. You got no legs, man. Come on, give the guy a bone, you know?
I hear you.
I mean, once you're a billionaire, what? Come on, you know? And that's the only beef I got, man. Take care of some of these guys that need help. You know, yeah, he does take care of some guys. When it comes to addiction problems, he put me through 3 rehabs. I'll be forever grateful, even though they didn't work. But there's so much more to be done.
Did you talk to him when you came back for the Hall of Fame at all, or?
No. Just hello. You know, that's basically it. We got a strange relationship. You know, it's out of respect and out of fear for his part.
I also wanted to ask you about Bill Watts, because, again, no? Why?
You really want to hear what happened?
Well, just, okay, well, from my perspective.
Piece of crap. He's a friggin' racist son of a bitch that shouldn't be walking the planet, man. That's what I got to say about Bill Watts, you know? Let God forgive him, because I can't. You know, the way he verbally abused people, the way he abused women, the way he abused talent. I mean, Ernie Ladd, who was a great, great football player and a pretty good wrestler too. Watts, because he knew that Ladd was dying for that job, would call him the N-word about every 15 minutes just because he could get away with it. I had no respect. I'd spit on his grave. And the only reason I won't piss on it is because I don't like standing in line. Other than that, you're fine, Bill.
Well, see, again, from my perspective, I don't know any of that. I've always just read what a great promoter he was and how well he did business. And
great business because he had everybody living in fear. You know, you can do business 2 or 3 different ways. And for me, you're not a great businessman if you got to beat a horse to death. And he didn't mind beating the horse, you know. And I'll tell you how good he is. When your children will not allow you to play with your grandchildren, that tells you something about that man. His own kids will not let him see their grandkids.
Wow.
That's what a piece of work he is.
Wow. Okay, well, just a couple. That's for you, Bill Watts. Just a couple other quick questions. Besides, doing the conventions and stuff like this, meeting the fans, what else does Jake get up to nowadays?
I'm in the process of finishing up a book, about 600 pages. It's the first half of my career.
Oh,
40 years.
amazing.
Yeah, it's really awesome, man.
I can't wait.
It's not your typical wrestling book. This has actually got some truth to it. I read some of these guys' books, I'm like, what in the hell?
Kind of sugarcoat.
Yeah. I lay it all out there, and I want to help people. I want people to understand the passion that you have for it if you're involved in it. I'm also doing comedy. I'm getting ready to do 26 days in a row here in Ontario and in Quebec. I enjoy doing the comedy. All it is telling road stories. The insane crap that went on in the locker room, the ribs, the stuff pulled on other guys, the stuff pulled on some of the fans. And, behind the scenes look at insanity.
Right. Well, now when you do those, and say there's people in the audience that maybe aren't wrestling fans, like what type of audiences are you? Is it mostly wrestling fans?
No, I'd say it's probably 60-40 non-wrestling fans, but everybody understands bullshit ribs, right. And practical jokes. And again, they're stepping into the locker room. That's what I try to treat them to. And it's hilarious stuff, man.
And I'm curious that it's going to be all here in Canada, in Ontario and Quebec. Okay, but you're doing this big tour you mentioned, right? Was that Canadian promoter set this up for you?
Yeah, a friend of mine by the name of Ryan set it up. I've done a couple of tours with him before. And we had phenomenal success, and so we had done a tour this last winter, and there were so many places up further north that wanted me to come, but they were just afraid to book them because of the weather. Right. You never knew what was going to happen. So we decided that we were going to do this big summer tour, and I agreed to do about 15 dates. The next thing I know, he's got 30-something dates. I'm like, you dick. Come on, man. Who are you, Bill Watts? I'm going to run my ass to death, but I enjoy it. So it's really not really work for me. The only part that's work is the travel.
Right.
And my body hurts a lot sometimes. It's part of growing old. It's part of mistreating it for 40 years. But, when they announce me and I go out there, nothing hurts anymore, man.
Right on. Oh, Jake, that's fantastic, man. I'm so happy that you're in a good spot, man, because you were one of my favorites when I was a kid. I didn't really like seeing what was in Beyond the Mat.
That's the same crap he said to Steamboat. I heard Steamboat. You're the greatest ever. What else?
It's the truth.
Beyond the Mat was crap. Get the Resurrection.
And also the book. Any idea when the book's coming out?
Probably 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's
Maybe
awesome.
We can chat again when the book comes out.
I hope so.
All right. Again, thanks so much, Jake. I really appreciate it. You were awesome.